RJ had to mess it up for me by sending over an article asking if Luka was crowned too early. And, of course, this is against the person he's forever going to be compared against from his draft class. Now, it speaks to him really being compared to LeBron and Harden and other and Magic and other all-time greats. But this is always going to be Luka versus Trey Young. And the Big Lead, a website I can't stand, came out with this piece asking if Luka was crowned too early over Trey.
Yeah, and remember, he was traded from the 5th to the 3rd. The Mavs traded up. The Hawks took Trey Young. And then, in reality, he should not be compared just to Trey. He should also be compared to the next year's pick that the Mavs gave up because it was really a 2-for-1 swap. But the point of this article was Trey and Atlanta are 20-20. The Mavericks, at the time, were 20-18. Now it's 21-18. Statistically, it's fairly close. Luka, 28-9-8 and a steal. Trey Young, 26-9-4 and a half a steal. So it's the rebounds are what separates the two. Luka takes more three-point shot, more shot attempts, and one more three per game. Trey Young is about 0.025 better. So instead of 32.5, he's 35, percent. And a higher true shooting percentage. Luka's made a 2-time All-Star. Trey Young, one. Neither have a playoff series win. Both will make the playoffs this year, presumably. Very small sample. And I guess, look, we do crown people way early, and we do crown things over very, very soon, and we do crown players as washed up very, very soon, and we do this and that, but I don't particularly think it's close. And that's not a shot on Trey Young. Trey's fantastic. Trey could play for me any day of the week. And if the Mavericks weren't able to make the trade, we'd be totally happy with Trey Young. Atlanta's happy with him. But, Luka's, to me, he's generational. Now, maybe we're biased here, but I just think it's...
No.
Real quick. Trey has a small lead in win shares for the year. Luka has a small lead in player efficiency rating for the season.
Okay. First off, who cares that Atlanta is the 6 and the Mavs are the 8? Atlanta's playing in the inferior conference. The West is freaking loaded. So you got Brooklyn, which is fun. Milwaukee, Miami is the 4. Charlotte, Boston is at 500. They're a playoff team. The Knicks are one game under 500. They're a playoff team. So get out of here. Not you, Choppy, but the article. Get out of here with Atlanta's record. You're playing in the Eastern Conference versus the West, where Denver's the 5. And they were in the Western Conference Finals last year. Number 2, I'm not going to pretend like I watch Trey Young a lot. I look at his highlights. I'm not watching Atlanta Hawks basketball. I don't care. But it's very hard for me to believe that Trey Young has the passing and playmaking ability of making others better like Luka does. Again, my favorite thing to watch with Luka is not his step-back 3 that he probably takes too many of. It's not him getting to the hole with his little floaters or his teardrops. It's his passing. Now, again, I'm not going to speak to Trey Young's passing, but I do know, compared with 40 years of watching basketball, Luka Doncic is a special passer. So if Trey Young is special, then I'll say it. But Luka's size shuts down this argument. It's beginning and ending. Luka can do anything with his size. Once he puts the shoulder down, just look at the clips from last night, the highlights. He doesn't do any crazy fancy dribbling except for when he broke Paul George that went viral. And Luka does have really good handles, but when he puts the shoulder down and gets by you, he's so big, he just puts you on his back hip, and then he can do whatever he wants. He can maneuver in the lane. Trey Young, to me, is always going to be like this fun little guy story. Again, if I was really, really die-hard NBA like I used to be, I'd have the league pass and I could watch more Trey Young's games. You're just not going to convince me that it's an argument. And you're not going to – Luka Doncic is going to the Hall of Fame. That's not overhype. It's just easy to say. And it's not because it's the weak basketball Hall of Fame. He is a generational player. The comps are out there legit for LeBron and Harden and Magic, and I didn't see it when he was coming out and getting drafted. RJ and Bassick were in love. I wasn't. I didn't understand how the athleticism was going to work in the NBA. Of course, he can get better, but this guy is special. I don't know if Trey Young is special yet. He cannot be overhyped. He is going to the Hall of Fame. He will be one of the greatest players of all time. He will destroy Dirk statistically in the history of the Mavs organization. I don't know if he gets the title or not. I don't think his title will ever match the greatness of Dirk's title, but Luka is worth all the hype that is out there over him. And I don't even have a question in my mind over it. It's not even – I'm not like, I'm a little hesitant. It's just – it's easy. It's easy to see. That's why I get ticked off when we call Luka like special, and some people try to compare it to the other biggest name in town, Dak, and like Dak versus Luka and what they do. This is going to come off as insulting to Dak, but it's not even close. That's how great Luka Doncic is.
And by the way,
like,
really,
as much as you.
And I've got to jump in because, you mentioned Dirk a while ago. And not to bash Dirk at all because Dirk is great, but if you actually saw what Luka did last night, he gets 42 points. His ninth 40-plus point game of his career. His ninth. And that is halfway through his third season. Dirk didn't get his first 40-point game till halfway through his fourth season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a different NBA, too. It was a different NBA, but yes, Luka's so amazing. And, look, I don't watch a ton of Hawks basketball, at all. I love Trey Young. Trey in college was amazing, and he is a fantastic passer. He's as good of a passer as anybody in the league. But there's a size difference with Luka that allows him to get more rebounds. And when you're 6'8" versus 6'2" or 3, you're 1, whatever. And there's just going to be a difference. So they're not even really comparable. It is interesting that. Some of their individual metrics are close, like win shares and player efficiency rate. Those are very, very close. I would still take Luka just because the size aspect of it. The size aspect. Yeah. I don't care about the records. It doesn't. You're right. It's Eastern Conference versus Western Conference. The thing is, they're both amazing. Luka is just because of the size. He's just somebody that you have to choose over Trey Young, and it's not a shot at Trey Young. It's just Luka's he's a generational type athlete from his size, his ability to shoot, his ability to handle the ball. I mean, you cannot duplicate that. It's very difficult to make up.
And by the way, why are we just bringing this up this year? Like, have the Atlanta Hawks been in the postseason since Trey Young has been there? That's just this what?
No, I think it's just that Trey's taking the step Luka had last year, Trey took this year.
Okay, I just think it's interesting to point out, like, Luka has to be given credit for making the playoffs last year in the West. The Hawks were 20-47. Like, the Atlanta Hawks are still thought of as a joke. The Mavs, not thought of as a joke. They're more thought of as up and coming. Atlanta was 29-53 the year before that. So we can take all the win-loss stuff, big lead, versus just this year when you want to get some clicks and sucker us into talking about it, which you did. So congratulations.